Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. I'm Mabie, and if this is the first time stopping by, you're most welcome to my channel. So today guys, we want to talk about deciding which way to start fashion designing. Now you are concerned about how do I start. I know I want to give it a try, but then how do I actually start, and which is the best way to even start? This is our categories. You want to choose between learning on your own from the comfort of your house, learning from online resources, or you want to consider learning from a roadside tailoring shop, or probably learning from a fashion school. Guys, whichever one you want to choose from, it's okay, but that depends on your reason for choosing either of them, and you have to understand those reasons. Please guys, now for the first category is learning from the comfort of your home at your own pace and from online resources. Guys, please, this aspect is cool. It's actually super cool. In 21st century, things are so easy for us, right? And you just find out how cool it is. You could actually just relax at home. Probably a stay-at-home mom, and you are so busy with taking care of the children that you can't even, step out to learn anything, but you want to learn tailoring. Or even you're a student who is so busy with school and you don't have the time to just focus entirely on a tailoring shop, or even go for a fashion school, and you want to still pay to your school and also learning, then you're cool. Or even you are just not the type who likes to stress yourself a lot, but you want to learn tailoring. Guys, whichever is your reason, you must understand that yes, you can learn on your own, you can learn from online, right? But then it depends on your level of discipline. And for any of them, make sure you have a purpose. Yes, you have your purpose, which will guide you through. And without a purpose, you just realize you are just catching fun all along and wasting your time. So what is your purpose? You want to learn for yourself, or you want to learn it as a business? If you want to learn it as a business, that means you have to be very disciplined. Yes, you have to discipline yourself not to just learn at your pace. You have to discipline yourself to make sure you put in the best, to put in your effort, and to ensure you follow along accordingly, doing practicals. Without practicals, if you're not doing any projects, you are not learning. You are just watching videos and you're catching clues. Maybe it's now because you love fashion and you're watching the videos, it's kind of a way of you easing off stress. You're just watching videos, right? But by the time you want to finally attempt doing it, you realize it was just time wasted, because you still have to watch those videos to learn it. And the only way to ensure you are learning is to try and please learn with discipline. Do your practicals, ensure you watch those videos and have the tools you need to even get it done, right? So that is it. And if for any reason your reason for learning it is because you want to be able to sew those cute dresses you see online and you want to recreate it yourself, then it's okay. You can learn at your own pace. It's fine. Trust me, it's fine. You can learn at your own pace. At your free time, you can decide to just, watch some videos, and whenever you're ready to recreate it, you go ahead and recreate it. That's fine. So you understand now that discipline matters depending on your reason. Either you want to learn it as a business or you want to learn it for yourself. Then remember, discipline is what matters. Yes, discipline is what differentiates the two. And yes, of course, you can learn everything you need to learn online. YouTube has made it so super easy that you can just watch some tutorials and know how to do one or two, and there are people like us who are ready to put you through with everything they have known so far, to put you through from the first stage, the second stage, the third stage, and that way you get to know everything even without having to pay a dime to someone to learn from their shop or from their fashion school. So that is it guys. And another thing is the next category, which is learning from a tailoring shop. Now you're asking yourself, do I want to learn from a tailoring shop? I don't have the resources to go for a fashion school, but I want to learn from a tailoring shop. That's fine. Trust me, majority of us did that. But if you're doing that, make sure you're putting this into consideration. Yes, you have to make sure you are focused, you have to make sure you are determined, and you have to make sure you have to a certain level the resources you need to be up and doing. Yes, because you can't just be going every day to watch your madam do one or two, or your oga do one or two, and at the end you come home without learning anything. The only best way to learn is to ensure you have the tools as well. Here you can resume unprepared, right? Probably you cannot get all the tools, but then as you resume, make sure before your first 2 months or 3 months you've acquired some of the tools, like your sewing machine, to ensure you're up and doing, to ensure you're doing your practicals back to back, because that way, that is the only way you can practice whatever you see your madam do, you practice. Yes, for your first and second months, they might allow you have access to their sewing machine at the shop, probably if they have enough, right? And then you can do 1 or 2 match machine at free time though. But trust me, before you know what's happening, you have been converted to an entry level fashion designing worker. right? You realize you're just there to either put paper stay, to join lining to fabric only, or not join clothes and iron clothes or even put stones. So guys, remember all this I just mentioned now, so that by the time you start seeing the signs, you know you have to put in the work, especially trying to avoid your sewing machine, your own personal sewing machine, to start practicing on your own at home, so that by the time you come back the next day, you have a question to ask. Because trust me, they won't leave their sewing machine for you just because you pay them. They'll leave their sewing machine for you to be using while business is supposed to be going on, right? So that is it. And you must also make sure you recognize when the environment is no longer conducive for you. Some people are so dubious, they just want to make sure, like, they're so self-centered, they just want to make sure their business is moving well without even having to like pause at some point and imagine if they're actually doing what they're supposed to do with you, right? Which is putting you through whatever you need to know. So remember, you need to recognize these things when you start seeing them and be quick to act. Yes, be quick to act. In this case, you can either act by making sure you follow them up with questions, with practicals, right, on your own, or you make sure you stop and try another shop. That way you don't just waste your time and then end up regretting anything. Do you get? And the next one is learning from a structured fashion school. Guys, this is super cool. It's cool, it's nice, but trust me, if you're also not prepared, you might end up spending months that are unproductive. And trust me, I wouldn't want to wish anyone that. You see, our time are so precious that we wouldn't want to waste it on frivolities, things that will not matter to us, things that will just end up frustrating us more. So if you want to learn fashion designing and you're considering fashion school, you have the resources, right? Make sure you ask yourself this question: do I really have the resources, or I just managed to get the money to register? Please, if you just manage to get the money to register, avoid fashion school, because you must have these things. You must have the resources to buy your own equipment to start, right? At least to have it at home for practicals, and you must have the money to buy materials to do your project. Guys, project is the only aspect that helps you know if you are actually learning anything or not. By the time you do your project, you realize there are some areas that you need correction, and that correction is what really matters, yes, in your learning process. So guys, if you do not have the resources yet for all this, then you are not ready for fashion school. Do not just try, don't do try and look here, because by the time you use that your hard-earned savings to register for it and you're not doing your projects, you will end up coming back and you're still frustrated because you just went there to watch others progress while you were there watching them. It's a very hard and painful experience, which I wouldn't want you to experience, and that is why I'm here to bring this as an awareness guide. So, but if for any reason you have the resources, right? You have the resources to do everything seamlessly, right? Without having to burn out based on having to struggle with getting the fabrics for a particular project you were supposed to do, or the materials you need to actually achieve that project, then you are good to go. Just trust me, you do so well there, especially if you are disciplined as well. Remember, you must be disciplined to learn this and work. Yes, you must be disciplined, you must be committed, you must be interested in it. If you're not interested in it and you're probably doing it for maybe you want to do it because you want to just have a skill, you will still end up not learning anything else. So you must be interested. That is it, guys. And if for any reason you're in this category, you have the money, you have the resources, please, even when you think you've done it all, you must still go back to a roadside tailoring shop for your internship, guys. You need to do your internship. That way you get to understand the real life business aspects of fashion designing. And you have to see how your madam handle rejections, how your madam handle disappointments from customers and the rest. That aspect is really very important. You need to learn all that. It's not just about knowing how to do it, but also learning how to handle customers, relate with them, and take care of their orders very well. So guys, that is it. And if for any reason you don't have the resources for fashion school, trust me, you will learn everything you need to learn. But that is if you are disciplined. You have to make plans for how long you want to learn and also stick to it. Yes, do not allow anything to distract you, to deviate from it. Now, normally, if you want to learn this business, a year and 6 months is good for you to know everything you need to know, assuming you are disciplined. But if you are learning from a roadside tailoring shop, it might be quite challenging. That is, if you are not disciplined enough, it might be quite challenging because you might see yourself spending 2 years without learning anything, just because you were probably not well informed to be aware of certain things you are experiencing which you are not supposed to experience there. And another thing is you have to pair it with online resources. Yes, don't just rely on what you are learning from them. Also, aside from that, after learning from them, you may also consider going to work elsewhere. Yes, even if you see yourself not learning anything, you might as well leave that place, register in another shop, just to like change hand and see the possibilities with, trying out different methods. You see that a lot of tailors, they do the same thing, the same outcome, but then different methods, and you get to like have varieties of options to choose from. Having seen the different methods, you now be the one to choose which one works best for you, which one you prefer, right? And that is just it. But guys, in all this, if I'm to choose for you, I will choose combining the three. Yes, combine the three at all costs if possible. Yes, if possible. Now, while you are learning from a roadside tailoring shop, do not just relax there. You can do your beginners class there just to save cost, because obviously if you want to go for a fashion school, you should be around 300 to 350, right? Now you can rely on learning from a roadside tailoring shop for your first 3 to 6 months, and then you move over to do your advanced class or intermediate class in a fashion school. That way you get to also learn more, right? And while at that, remember, you're also supposed to be watching YouTube videos to learn how to do one or two styles. But remember, you can still learn from YouTube. If for any reason you think you are not capable of going for either a roadside tailoring shop or a fashion school, you can learn. But remember what I told you from the beginning. I said you must be disciplined and you must be ready financially to do practice. Without practice, you are not learning anything. Without doing your project, without trying out all those things you are watching, you are not learning anything. Because whenever you are ready, you realize you don't know anything, because you are not just doing the right thing, right? So that is it, guys. If you found this video very helpful, please consider liking it, and also subscribe if you are yet to join the family. Over here, we're a family, and trust me, to be value upon value. Yes, guys, if you want to, join the family, just like secure your own permanent seat to be able to grab everything that I will have to share on this channel. And please, guys, use the comment section below to share your thoughts. Let me know if you really understand anything or you still need more clarity in any aspect. I'll be there to reply you. So guys, that is it for this video. See you next time in my next video. Until then, stay blessed, guys. Bye.